Shoot the whole day, then study at night, then go give my prelim examination.
Called hustle now. Struggle in our times. So the hustle is on.
Turned back and he'd look at me and I was like, Agnipath. You know,
Sorry, it was Rajni, sir. Fine, right? Okay, cool.
How kabhi Haveli.
So before we start this amazing conversation with Jimmy sir, Tamannaah and Avinash, let's hear for them. Let it rip. A loud, loud applause, everybody. Yes. So Muqaddar ka Sikandar nahi, Sikandar ka Muqaddar. What a lovely wordplay, and there's so much more to it. I think when everybody watches the film, which I had the good fortune of watching last night. But before we go ahead, आपके मुंह से एक बार मूल वृत्ति का मतलब समझना चाहेंगे. In the style that only Inspector Jaswinder can.
क्या था वो? मूल वृत्ति का मतलब समझते हो? इंस्टिंक्ट. और इंस्टिंक्ट या तो होता है या फिर नहीं होता है. मेरा सॉलिड है इंस्टिंक्ट.
तो नीरज पांडे जब आपके पास फिल्म लेके आए, आपकी मूल वृत्ति ने क्या कहा? What was the first reaction?
कूद जा, सोचना मत, यही ये मौका, जल्दी से हाँ कह दे, नीरज पांडे के साथ काम करने का मौका मिल रहा है. That was...
Well, मूल वृत्ति की हिम्मत ही नहीं और कुछ बोलने की. It was like yes, a double yes.
मेरी मूल वृत्ति ने कहा कि एक बार और कर ले.
क्या बात है. And what is Neeraj Pandey's set like? Because he has always said, you know, that he cracks the script and then he starts making the film. So it's like you go exactly by the script, or there is room for improvisation, because a film set is controlled chaos at the best of times and chaos at the worst. So what is that like, working with Neeraj?
I think it's one of the most organized set that I've been part of. He's just so meticulous about everything that he wants. He knows complete clarity. So मुझे वो chaos वाली feeling आई नहीं. Though this film has a lot of chaos in it, but because everything was just so planned, so clear, the directions were so clear, I thought it was just a very smooth sailing, and also one of the shortest shoots that I'd done. I think about 20-25 days. This film was made in, and absolutely unbelievable, very honestly, in my experience.
बड़े ऑर्गेनाइज तरीके से chaos को शूट करते हैं वो. I think that's what Neeraj is all about.
What was your experience, Tamannaah?
I mean, they are talking about not a basic level of organization, but like, because in general also films require a lot of prep, and most people do prep. But what we saw here is not a everyday even for us, because I do feel like Neeraj sir, it's prep actually to a completely different level. I don't see this level of productivity and efficiency everywhere. So definitely working with him reminds you how important it is to actually prep to a degree that you know you have plan A, you have plan B, and you have plan C in case plan A or B doesn't work out. So you know he's prepped to that degree, and not just him. It's also about the kind of teams you hire, right? So he has like the best of the teams. Everyone is in sync. Everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone works in the same form. So it's just such great teamwork at play. It's almost like a beautiful dance. Everyone's just in great sync.
Amazing. Neeraj recently said in an interview that he thinks you are extremely underutilized as an actor. Now, we have seen you in these amazing roles, these iconic performances over the years, from Marches to Mohabbatein, of which there are so many fans out here. And you know, these kids were just talking about it a little while back. And Munna Bhai, Tanu Veds Manu. But do you think you're underutilized, or you know, do you think you have got your
उसके
due?
आगे की लाइन आप भूल गए. उन्होंने कहा था कि अंडर यूटिलाइज एक्टर है और मुझे मैं मौके ढूंढता हूँ कि मैं इसको ऐसा कुछ ले आके इसको टैप कर सकूँ. तो मैं समझता हूँ कि उनके लिए मैं हमेशा अंडर यूटिलाइज रहूँ और वो मुझे टैप करते रहे.
But overall, you 30 years in cinema now?
Almost, I think 28 years since the time my first film Marches released.
So you think you have got your due, you enjoy the whole process, you have seen the entire spectrum of roles over the years.
कुछ नहीं देखा मैंने अभी तक.
कुछ नहीं देखा, that's the spirit.
कुछ नहीं देखा है. अब देखना शुरू करूँगा.
And we will look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Another thing that binds all three of you together, you are all outsiders who came to Hindi cinema, cinema with not, you know, an insight into how it works. And interestingly, just like you guys are sitting, he started in 95, you started mid 2000s, and you in 2014, your big, the first break, right? Yudh.
I've been doing work since 2003, 2004. But my first film I would talk about as a lead part came in 2018. So, yeah.
So, you know, how was the struggle in these 3 different decades for all of you? What the struggle at that time for you guys? And, you know, it changed over the years also. There has been evolution of the industry, and it has also impacted the people who are entering it. So how was it over the 3 decades?
I think it's called hustle now. It was a struggle in our times. So the hustle is on.
But back then, I've heard you say that, you know, it was understood कि 5-7 साल तो लगेंगे, कम से कम 5-7 साल की तैयारी करके आओ.
ये मैं समझता था. मतलब जब मैं गुलजार साहब को मैं पहली बार मिला था तो उन्होंने मुझसे पूछा था कि इनमें से कौन सा रोल, बिकॉज वी न्यू दैट चंद्रचूड़ इज प्लेइंग वन रोल, ताबू एंड एवरीथिंग. तो वो जो बाकी के 3-4 लड़कों के पार्ट्स थे, उन्होंने बोला कौन सा बेस्ट लगता है. मैंने कहा जी सारे बहुत अच्छे हैं किरदार, क्योंकि मैं तो ये सोच के गया था मुझे असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर की तरह वो रख लें तो मुझे घर वापस नहीं जाना पड़ेगा. वरना घर वाले बुला रहे थे कि आ जाओ बेटा, 1-1.5 साल हो गया, कुछ हुआ नहीं है. इवन दो दे वर वेरी सपोर्टिव. बट और उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने कहा सर सब बहुत अच्छा है, नहीं एक चूज़ करना पड़े तो गुलजार साहब कॉर्नर कर लेते थे. मतलब अब मेरे लिए तो बिल्कुल, मैं पहली बार इतने बड़े डायरेक्टर, एक लेजेंड के सामने बैठा हूँ, और तो मैंने कहा सर चूज़ करना पड़े तो मैं इस किरदार को चूज़ करूँगा, जयमल सिंह. तो बोला वो क्यों? मैंने कहा क्योंकि उसका नाम जिमी है और मेरा भी निकनेम जिमी है, क्योंकि मैं गुलजार साहब को एज जसजीत शेरगिल मिला था. तो अच्छा एक काम करो, दाढ़ी उगा लो, बाल लंबे कर लो, यू आर डूइंग दैट रोल. एंड आई ऑलमोस्ट फेल ऑफ द चेयर. एंड या सो दैट इज़ हाउ इट ऑल स्टार्टेड. तो उसी कॉन्वर्सेशन में उन्होंने मुझसे बोला था कि जब शुरू में कि तो तुम करना क्या? तो सर असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर बनना चाहता हूँ. अच्छा तो करते क्या हो? मैंने कहा एक्टिंग क्लासेस कर रहा हूँ. तो एक्टिंग क्लासेस कर रहे हो तो असिस्टेंट क्यों बनना चाहते हो? सर यहाँ पर यही कहा जाता है कि 5-7 साल पहले से पहले किसी को ब्रेक नहीं मिल सकता है. तो मतलब कौन कहता है? फिर वो कॉन्वर्सेशन हुई थी जो मैंने आपको बताई है. तो दैट इज़ हाउ इट वाज.
The rest is history. How was it for you, Tamannaah?
Well, for me, I just knew at a very young age that I wanted to become an actor. Of course, I had no background or support to understand how it even works. But I was spotted in my school, and I just took every opportunity that came my way without worrying about where it will take me. And I think that was a good age also because there was nothing to lose. You know, you're in school. It really doesn't. It only can only get better basically. Um, but I think my first break that actually gave me inroads into South Indian cinema was an ad film that I did, and I shot that in my board, my prelim examinations of the 10th standard, which was crazy. And I think that's when I also understood how much I actually care about this because I remember I would shoot the whole day, then study at night, then go give my prelim examinations, then again shoot the next day, and then again study at night, and then again give examinations. So this went on for 3 days because tabhi ad films were shot over a period of 3 days because it was a skincare brand. So yeah, and I think that because I could just function like that, I realized that it wasn't a child's dream, or it wasn't just a whim. I really wanted to do the work. I enjoyed doing the work, and that's why I was doing it. It was a discovery for me at that point of time. And then definitely the moment post that ad coming out, I had a lot of opportunities down south. And I think for me, somewhere the problem was that it started to work out almost immediately. So almost in 2 years, my my fifth film in life was my first successful film, which was a Telugu film called Happy Days, and it truly did bring happy days into my life. And yeah, it was just not. It was just it went into a tiz because I couldn't study after that, because I was shooting like 5 films at any given point of time for 8 years after that. So that really was a very, like, it's a blur for me, to be honest. I don't remember any of that part of my life because it was just from one set to another set to another set. But it for me, the biggest learning at that period was actually working with people much older to me, uh, working in a place that I don't speak the language in, so I had to learn languages. So it was good for me because I exactly was at that age where I could learn new languages. So now I speak Tamil and Telugu because of that. And yeah, I got an understanding of a different culture because I came from Mumbai. And I think my real hustle started when I somewhere hit a point where I was like, I have the commercial success, but I'm just hungry as an actor and I want more opportunities to perform different characters. And for women, I feel like, especially if you are doing commercially well, there is this notion, at least there was this notion at that point, that, why should you kind of move away from that and try to experiment? But I think my funda was always a bit hatke, and I always wanted to choose the parts that nobody thought I would want to do. And soon after that, I think Bahubali happened. And of course, Bahubali was game changing for not just me, but for an entire industry because it created the term that we very proudly use as pan India films today. And that also broadened my perspective. And then began the bigger hustle because now, once you do a Bahubali, now tell me, how is one supposed to up that? So, so I think my problems just grew by the fact that I actually had the opportunity to, do something bigger than I could have imagined. And it always left me in a place where I'm like, okay, now how do I either up this or how do I reinvent? So for me, post Bahubali, it was the entire journey was to actually reinvent myself through everything that I did. And I think now I stand at a phase again where I feel like a newcomer again. Um, Once again, bringing a film of mine to everyone in the audiences who hasn't seen me in this light, because I still feel like this is probably the freshest I've looked in a film, and I'm not really wearing much makeup, or I'm not trying to hide under too much of vanity. So it's an interesting portrayal of, a regular girl, but in really extraordinary circumstances. So I hope you like her journey. I hope you enjoy her conflicted journey. And yeah, in general, this film is. I can tell you one thing, and because I'm quite an interesting consumer of content. I have a very short attention span actually, and when I saw this film, and I know the story of the film, and it's a heist thriller, and so the thrill element comes from suspense, and I actually know it, and I was intrigued to watch the film. So I feel like it not doesn't happen every day where you feel like doing that to your own work. I definitely feel like working with Neeraj sir taught me a lot, and just working with Avinash and Jimmy sir, they both are like such brilliant actors, and most importantly, they are the most secure actors I've worked with. That's also a different. It's not every day we meet actors that help you perform better. Like they're not just concerned with what they are doing, but they're also making sure that everybody around them is doing well. And that's a really rare. It's a very idealistic scenario to have, but I actually had that luxury. So thank you, Avinash, thank you, Jimmy.
Heights of modesty being seen there. This is absolutely just that. Tamannaah Bhatia.
Come to you. So what was struggle like back in the day?
The hustle that we were talking about. I think the hustle is for life. I think I've come to a point where I've almost accepted it as a part of my life. I was doing my engineering one day out of nowhere, decided to be an actor. Didn't know what to do. It just looked like an alien world, a world that I wasn't very fond of, very honestly, at that point of time. And just too distant. Just one decision that I should do this. And I was more an academic kind of a guy, so I thought I should learn acting because I should study acting, and that should be my way of doing it. So I decided to train myself. Before that, I did a couple of years of theatre. I decided to train myself with Mr. Barry John in Delhi. Decided to go to New York Film Academy, train there. Came back and thought there'll be a red carpet lying for me. And from there on, the so-called hustle kind of started. I did a couple of shows on DD National because I thought that would be a great way to earn my bread and butter to keep sustaining myself. And films was the only way of, I mean, the only thing that you wanted to do was get that one film. So 2003 to 2018, 15 years is what it took me to finally to be able to say I'm a protagonist of a film, and something that I had been working on, desired. Did that film, the film for 3 years, that's what it took to make that film. On the third day, the posters were taken off of that film. And I just didn't know where to go with it. Like, it's taken 15 years to get that opportunity, and then it disappears in 3 days. But thankfully, I've been built like this where I could just keep going on. That's a blessing I truly believe in. And I'm here sitting with you from there on to having a re-release of the same film, having Madgaon Express at the start of this year. The kind of variety that thankfully the industry that I work in has been offered to me. I feel very happy and content as an artist at this point of time. But the hustle that you said is non-stop. That is never ending. I don't think, the idea that we say, oh, have we arrived? And I keep saying that I think I arrived the day I decided to be an actor. From there on, it's just been a long journey, and I hope it continues from here on.
Actually, my corollary to the question was, has the struggle ended? But apparently not so. Hustle goes on, as you all have said. So Tamannaah, tell me, a 15-year-old on a film set of a language that she is learning, what was that experience like? I mean, most of us can barely give our board exams at that age.
Yeah, I should have been giving my board examinations, but I just chose to be on a film set instead. No, I had to give my boards. I couldn't get away with that. I tried, it didn't happen. I think I was extremely confident. Actually, my first shot in a film was actually playing the violin, okay? And I don't know how to play the violin. But of course, I look like I could, because in my head, I could. And that's been most of my career. So if anybody asks me, "Aap plane chala sakte hain?" I'm like, "Haan, main chala sakti hu." So I was that child. Yeah, I think learning Tamil and Telugu, I'll tell you why it actually happened was because some of my directors just didn't speak any other language. So I was like, अब मैं story सुनूंगी कैसे? क्योंकि ये कुछ और बात नहीं करते तो फिर अभी तमिल में ही बात करना पड़ेगा. Then I started to learn. So I used to have one makeup artist and some people on set. So I used to start tallying dialogues with them, and I used to start tallying how do you ask खाना कैसे खाएं, खाना खाया, से कब तक shooting चलेगा, ये सब all these has to keep asking, making lines and asking them. What you want, Telugu? Bone చేసారా, తిన్నారా, షూట్ ఎప్పుడు వరకు ఉంటుంది, మామూలుగా like in Telugu press conferences I go on full in Telugu. Actually sometimes I think in Telugu. I also curse in Telugu in my head sometimes. So when I get angry also Telugu randomly comes out. I once started trying to talk to my driver in Telugu and I'm like, I am not in Hyderabad. So, so yeah, because I spent like a lot of time there. So then naturally that happened. Yeah, so that's how I grew up there. Yeah.
And you have been, as a woman, you have evolved yourself. You have seen the evolution of the industries across India. And, you know, as a woman, do you think an actress today has, you know, is sitting on the big table, has the decision-making powers? You think we have evolved to that level across industries?
I just feel like we need to stop addressing ourselves like as a woman because I think we're just people. You know, I think the differentiation or somewhere that the thing that we are lesser is somewhere also ingrained in us. So now we are trying to rub that onto every industry. Actually, it's not. It's just the way we look at ourselves. And if we can't look at ourselves as people and just as equals, then nobody else is going to. So I definitely look at myself just as a person who can do many, many different things. And I do feel like if you really want to make it big in any industry, you have to first be in it. You have to be in the game. Like I know a lot of people want to change things overnight कि यार ये बदल दो इंडस्ट्री के बारे में, वो बदल दो, but I'm like तुम बाहर बैठ के कैसे बदल सकते हो? You have to be a part of it, and for that sometimes you have to really let your ego go, because our profession is a collective art form. It is not one person creating art. It's so many people. So it's so many people's creative ideas that need to find a confluence. And then there is a hierarchy to it. Now the problem with hierarchy is that most women think that they can't ask for things that they want. They can't, if they ask, they are replaceable. These are all lowly thoughts that we've all been like trained कि यार ऐसा सोचो, अपने बारे में सोचो, ऐसा कंडीशनिंग है हमारा. बट ऐसा नहीं है. अगर आप अपने दिमाग से एक तो वो बात हटाएं और एंड ऑल्सो यू बिकम प्रोडक्टिव. इफ यू कैन रियली डू द जॉब, आई डोंट सी व्हाई एनीबडी वुड नॉट वांट यू टू डू इट. So my only thing is I have never been my mindset has never been a victim mindset. I can never feel bad for myself because I feel like that's stupid. You know, I would rather be like, do the job, be productive, achieve, and just show that you can, you know, you bring something to the table. And that's when I feel like the game changes. Then people invest in you. Then people trust you. And then, you know, things move forward and you can actually make a bigger change in the larger ecosystem. So I just feel like it's like मुझे नहीं मिला chance, मैं वहाँ नहीं पहुँच पाई जहाँ पहुँचना चाहती थी. All that is just, you know, it's a way to make yourself feel better on a bad day. But it's not the real deal.
And what a year you have had. Aranmai 4 and 2 huge chart busters. Language is absolutely no boundary. Everybody has been singing them. You guys want to tell me which are those 2 songs? And Kavalaya. So tell me, when Aaj Ki Raat came to you and you were already trending across India, people were following the hook steps of Kavalaya, was there ever a thought, ab iske better kaise karenge?
Actually, there was. Like, so that's why it took me a beat to figure out whether I want to do Aaj Ki Raat or not. Because I just had a song that came out and I was like, but somewhere, you know, to be honest, I really felt I hadn't given Kavala my best. And I felt like I could have done something better. So, so I think when Aaj Ki Raat came and then when Amar explained to me the whole story and, you know, explained to me that you're playing Shama and, you know, you have to dance like Shama. So you're playing a character, you can't just, this is not going to be just another song. And I think that gave me a little bit of food for thought because I was like, I can play this differently. And I think, but definitely there was no imagination of what's happening right now. Like, that's what I'm saying. I could have never imagined the most amazing things that happened to me. I thought it's going to be a song people will like, but like, you know, nobody can imagine how much. So that's just I think I'm blessed for sure to get so much love from you guys. Thank you.
Jimmy, you have been so active in Punjabi cinema. You were part of its resurgence. And right now, what an amazing time it's having under the sun. And then there's the Punjabi music. So, Punjabi aa gaye hoye, or do we need to do more?
You always need to do more.
So, because this is one cinema, while it is hugely popular, it has not managed to say, go across the boundaries, say, maybe watched in South, like we are watching Malayalam or Telugu films across India. But do you think that will happen over time because the content is
Very
so
soon,
much better?
very soon, very soon. It should happen very soon. We're trying our level best. I think at least from my end, I'm still trying. We're working on certain scripts which can make it go right across territories and boundaries.
Amazing. Avinash, you talked about Laila Majnu. When the film didn't work despite so much critical acclaim, and now when it did, and re-releases have been all the, we have had so many films which have come out and we have people dancing in the aisles, and especially it is happening at a time when, Hindi cinema is sort of kind of figuring out where it wants to go from here. There is interest, people want to watch, even the big hits that have been part of big franchisees. So people knew what they were expecting and they went and watched it. So do you think that, going forward, there is a need for a renaissance of sorts, a rethinking of what cinema has to be in today's day and age when we all have very short attention spans, but we still want entertainment?
I think cinema has been a form of entertainment for sure. I think what has also changed is there are just so many other experiences that are available for entertainment. And the industry is kind of trying to figure that out. There was a point, there was theater, then there was films, and then television happened, and you felt that and the DVDs and VCDs came out, and you felt maybe this would shake the entire ecosystem. And now with social media, I think those reels have become so addictive and entertaining that you can't let go of that, forget about watching a film. So absolutely, where you're almost, if there are a lot of producers who are catering to a certain audiences and they're trying to figure out what they want, what they would like. I personally feel as an audience myself, I don't know what I want to watch. When you say I go on a platform, I have so many options. I end up not watching anything because I don't even know what to watch, unless I've heard so many people talk about it. So it's become a buzzword. Now you somehow create a buzz, and that's what translates into films. But I think over a period of time, this would settle down. It's very new. All of this is very, very new, and we all would settle down. This industry has been on for a long time, and contrary to what people believe, there are very smart people in the Hindi film industry. And I'm sure this would be looked at. I think eventually, once we get back to the core of storytelling, that films are supposed to create stories, create a world, create a certain escape for those couple of hours. And if we are able to engage and entertain them, the audiences would make sure that they come back. And we have started seeing that. There are films which do that. The sequels bring in the nostalgia. Maybe the re-releases bring the nostalgia, and which is what people can connect to. But in due time, I think with a lot of fresh blood coming into the industry, we are all ready to have the audiences back and have our cinemas glowing and thriving as it was.
Looking forward to it. We like nothing better than, those 2 magical hours inside a theater. I will move to what we like to call Screen 5 quick questions, but feel free to give really long anecdotal answers. I'll start with Jimmy. If you have to explain your career to someone through 5 of your films, which ones will you choose?
I know 2 of them. One would be the one with which I started, that's Marches, and one which is releasing now. Rest of it, I guess they'll have to figure it out themselves. अब वैसे तो बहुत हैं यार, मोहब्बतें will always be special, मुन्ना भाई कितनी है, Wednesday, मैं तो अपनी फिल्म प्रमोट करने आया हूँ यहाँ पे, ये थोड़ा ना बताने आया हूँ कि मैंने क्या क्या किया है.
वैसे जिमी 5 हो गई. First time you met your Mohabbatein co-stars during shoot, Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan. What was 20-something Jimmy thinking? What was the thought
क्या क्या
process?
नहीं सोच रहा था, ये सोचिए. सोच रहा था कि क्या कर्म किए होंगे मैंने कि मैं यहाँ खड़ा हूँ इन लोगों से. अभी ये लोग मुझे बोल रहे पैकअप, आम ओके. तो दुख इस बात का है कि मैं फ़ोटो कभी नहीं ले पाया किसी के साथ. और बट yes, I still remember meeting Mr. Bachchan for the first time in Yash Uncle's house. There was a havan and we all were there, and before the shooting of the film was starting, and I had 2 or 3 days back I had fallen down somewhere and I had cut my hand very badly, so I had 55 stitches and I had a bandage like all the way till here. And when Adi introduced me to Mr. Bachchan and said that that's Jimmy, he's playing Karan. So Mr. Bachchan's reply was that, boy, he's a method actor. He's taking his role too seriously, I think. वो बार बार काट लेता था ना अपना हाथ प्रीति को दिखाने के लिए. So एक सेकंड में यार ये कैसे. And so yeah, I think अब मैं भूल गया हम किस बारे में बात कर रहे थे. हाँ, मोहब्बतें के बारे में. And then obviously Shah Rukh Khan at every stage, so helpful in every scene, always so nicely he would come and say. इसीलिए मैं कहता हूँ कि मैं जब इस इंडस्ट्री में नहीं आया था तब भी हमारे लिए शाहरुख खान थे इंस्पिरेशन. आए तब भी थे, आज भी वही है.
Absolutely. Moving on, box office and big screen or OTT?
मेरा प्यार तो बॉक्स ऑफिस और बिग स्क्रीन ही रहेगा. मैं झूठ नहीं बोल सकता हूँ आपको. आई लव डूइंग OTT क्योंकि OTT कुछ अलग, कुछ नई चीज़ें जहाँ पर इतने राइटर्स डायरेक्टर्स अब फ्रंट फुट पे आके खेल रहे हैं. वो सब ऐसी चीज़ें कर रहे हैं जिसके लिए अब उनको कोई बोलने वाला नहीं है कि यार ये फॉर्मूला है, ये मत करो, ये करो. दे जस्ट hitting everything out of the park, and those things are the ones that the audiences are enjoying. Those kind of shows which are a little different and the people are lapping onto them. But the thing is that मैं इस इंडस्ट्री में आया था उस सिल्वर स्क्रीन के लिए, और मेरे लिए हमेशा वो रहेगा. मेरे लिए वो आप जिस तरीके से भी आप प्रोजेक्शन कर लीजिए, बट वो जो चीज़ थी वो that's always going to remain my first.
Thank you, Jimmy. You have been amazing. We are moving to Tamannaah. So, what is one unexpected similarity that you found between North and South film industries, and one unexpected difference?
One expected similarity.
Unexpected, dono hi. One unexpected similarity and one unexpected, like how they are different, similarity and different.
I'll be honest with you, a film set is, you can never have the same experience twice because it's like a fingerprint. Because it's a completely new combination, right? Like, so sometimes even like say 2 actors on the film are same, but then you might have a different director. And then you might have a different cameraman. Or then you might have a different, different aspects of, you can have different music. So sometimes I have worked with some directors like 2-3 times, and still my experience with them is different because other people in the equation have changed. So I do feel like a film set is a brand new experience every time. Like I'm sure if I shoot another film with Neeraj sir, I'll have a slightly different experience because if Jimmy sir is there, still there'll be somebody else, or if Avinash is there, still someone else will be there. So the whole, it's a very, the permutation combination just changes. So I have actually found it very hard to compare, forget industries. I can't even compare 2 experiences.
What is the secret sauce of SS Rajamouli? We really need to know that.
He's a visionary, yaar, and he's just super brave. He's, he doesn't doesn't like hold back when he's trying to dream. I think he really goes for what anybody else might be like, oh God, that's not possible. So he'll go for that. So he thinks big, yeah. You know, he never thinks small. Um, Even when he made a film about a fly, he was like, वो उसको हीरो बनाते हैं, मतलब यू नो फ्लाई को भी छोटा नहीं समझता वो. तो उनकी नज़र है ना हमेशा वो बड़ी चीज़ पे है, एंड आई फील लाइक दैट टेक्स एक उसके लिए एक जिगरा लगता है कि यू नो लाइक आई वांट टू जस्ट हैव द बिगेस्ट ऑफ थिंग्स, एंड आई फील लाइक द वंस हु ड्रीम बिग ऑलवेज काइंड ऑफ फाइंड अ वे टू मेक इट हैपन. सो या.
You were the most nervous working with which actor? Somebody you maybe, appreciate so much. So when you were sharing the screen,
Actually, I was very nervous when I met Rajni sir. Oh, you were thinking I was going to say you? Sorry. Sorry, it was Rajni sir. Can you adjust?
Yeah, of course.
It's fine, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, Rajni sir I was, but I had met him once briefly, but he was just so sweet. He was so friendly and so lovely. And he was like, see, they're not letting me sit next to you and all. He was just very cute. Yeah, he was just too cute.
your fashion icon.
I really like Zendaya, yeah.
And your most iconic fashion moment.
यार मैं तो अभी हर जगह पे करती हूँ. आई एम जस्ट लाइक इफ आई वॉक आउट ऑफ माई हाउस एंड इफ आई एम वेयरिंग द रॉन्ग शूज ना मुझे खुजली होती है रियली. इट्स बिकम लाइक अ पार्ट ऑफ माई लाइफ. इट्स नॉट लाइक आई हैव टू डू फैशन फॉर समवन. आई एम डूइंग इट नाउ फॉर माई सेल्फ. इट्स एक्चुअली कम टू दैट. लाइक आई ग्रू इन टू दैट. आई थिंक आई हैव हैड सम वेरी लाइक स्कैरी चॉइसेस व्हेन आई वाज ग्रोइंग अप. वो सबका होता है बिकॉज यू नो कुछ अपने बाल ब्लू कलर कर दिया, ये पिंक कलर कर दिया, वो सब आई वेंट थ्रू दैट एंटायर फेज. And now I'm just like मुझे मज़ा आता है करने में. So I'm not really doing this. But अच्छा लगता है because you know what, even this like yesterday we did something fun. You know, I just wore a black dress. Now a black dress in my opinion is a very is considered a basic. You know, a black dress for a woman is a basic outfit. But like my entire team, you know, there was Shalina, there was Elton, there was Madhuri, and my entire team was like, you know, let's do something fun with it. So, you know, we put a hairband on it, like in an Audrey Hepburnish way, and try to make it fun. So, you know, even a black dress can be fun. So you're also you're also experimenting. I could look totally crazy with it. Like I was ready that after 2 hours of getting ready, I would be like, okay, let's just tie up my hair, you know. But that's a risk you take. And yeah, I got a lot of love for it on the internet. So yeah.
Amazing. Big hand for her, please. Your turn, Avinash. So what is your advice to 20-something Avinash who is leaving engineering and heading to the US to study acting?
Say that again. I sorry missed you.
What is your advice to 20-something Avinash who's leaving engineering and heading to US to study acting?
I'm waiting for him to give me advice, very honestly, because he was smarter than I am for sure. Yeah, I think one thing that I keep saying to younger people, because probably someone should have said it to me, is I think social validation system is slightly warped. So don't look for it. That's something that I would say to every young one, and probably if someone had said that to me, it would have been much, much better for me.
That's a very good advice, especially in the times of social media, and we have so many young kids sitting here. Your favorite heist film, and you cannot say Sikandar Ka Muqaddar.
I mean, heist films, the fun ones, like I remember Ocean's 11, you know, and I know that boys, we would go out and watch it and enjoy the music and the thrill of it. So yeah, I mean, for now, I would say Ocean's 11.
How was the first day on Yudh set and working with Mr. Amitabh Bachchan?
So I have a scary story. I mean, of course, anyone who meets Mr. Bachchan will be awed by it. And this was almost 10 years back, so I was much younger. And the first time we met for action. And I'd never done action sequences in my life. I was strung on this rope and I had to jump, and then straight a fall, He kicks me, I jump, he punches me, I duck, and I give him back on his back. Unfortunately, I ended up hitting him on his head. And the heart attack that I experienced at that point of time and the embarrassment I still haven't recovered from. On that set, I remember there was pin drop silence. I actually went for another punch because they didn't say cut. That's the instinct of an actor, unfortunately. That took over, and I walked up to him and I said, "Sir, I'm really sorry. I hit you." And he's like, "Yes, you hit me on my head." And I'm like, "Sorry, sir. I apologize." And in my nervousness, I turned around and said, "Sir, do you mind if we do a rehearsal?" And he looked around at everyone, he's still holding his head. He's like, "Kahan se utha ke laaye ho?" types. And he said, "But we'll do it very slowly." I said, "Yeah, yes, sir, we'll do it slowly." I lied down again, and he had to walk in and come and kick me again. So I was lying on the floor. While he was going, he came back to me again, and he's like, "Listen, action is like choreography. Dance, just dance." I swear to God, when I say this, I was so nervous. I was almost about to say, "Sir, but there is no music." And I did not. I have saved some grace for myself. So yeah, that was my. I was, of course, awed by him. I remember there were so many times that, he would just turn back and he'd look at me, and I was like, "Agnipat," you know. Yeah, and I mean, it's one of my favorite memories. And I had a 7-minute monologue, and I did that, and he came to me. He made the entire crew clap for me. Came and hugged me. I mean, as a young actor, someone like him. Someone like him giving that love and encouragement is something that I think would value for all my life.
Amazing. Is there a work of yours that makes you go cringe? ये क्यों किया?
नहीं, ऐसा कोई काम तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि मैंने क्यों किया. I've never done any work that I'm like मैंने.
Or maybe I should have done it differently. ऐसा क्यों किया?
If I have to say, I just felt. I'm like, it's not me. It's just because you ask me and I have to push myself. I think Bulbul, when it released, and the kind of audience reaction that I had for Satya, I felt I was not able to communicate what I wanted to. So that is what I felt for that part. I still don't know how to do it. I still don't know how to make it better, or make it appear or communicate the way that would reach to the audience. But yeah, so if you ask me, that was one film I felt that I wasn't able to communicate what I wanted to as an actor.
It has been a lovely, lovely conversation. It's time we open it to our very patient audience. I know they have a lot of questions for you. So let's begin from a question here. Can we have the mic? Sir, can I ask you to please stand up and ask the question? Thank you.
Is I audible? Yeah. I'm from Mexico, so my question will be related to travel. So would like to know specifically in India, which is your favorite travel destination, and which is the favorite most liked mode of transport would you like to follow going to that destination?
In India, you're saying, right?
That's correct.
I really like traveling from Juhu to town. It's the longest it takes. It could vary anywhere between 1 hour to 3 hours. So I would prefer a faster mode of transport. Yes. I don't know. Maybe teleport.
Can Mexico help with that?
Yes. Can Mexico be of any advice for?
Definitely I will convey your message to our founders, and if we find something, we will get back to you.
Flying jet suits, sir. We need them here now.
Hello guys, this is Vijay this side from Smash. My question is, the movie name itself resonates with our brand, Muqaddar Ka Sikandar. So Sikandar Ka Muqaddar, my bad. I just want to tell you, it means you win, you play, you win, and it depends on your luck. I want to tell you, what message will you send to people who perceive failure as a negative thing? I just want to know your opinion. Any one of you. Thanks.
एक बड़ी फेमस किताब है, फेलियर इज सक्सेस इज नेवर एंडिंग एंड फेलियर इज नेवर फाइनल. एक बार फेल हो गए, कीप ट्राइंग टिल यू सक्सीड. कि वो जो एक किताब है वो पढ़िए, उससे आपको सब पता लगेगा. बड़ी फेमस किताब है वो.
Definitely, sir.
Hello, Jimmy sir. Hello, Tamannaah ma'am and Avinash sir. My question is to Jimmy sir. So first of all, I've loved the role of I've loved your role in Mohabbatein, and I am a big fan of yours. So, as your role in Mohabbatein, if you had to give me a tip to impress any girl or a woman, what would it be?
Sir, I've been asking this for a
यार
long time.
अब मैं क्या टिप्स आप लोग को दूंगा यार. अब तो मुझे आप लोगों से टिप्स लेनी चाहिए. अभी मेरे जैसा आदमी तो मतलब अगर कोई टिप देगा तो आपको ऐसे ही बोलेगा आओ कभी हवेली पे.
Thank you so much, sir.
Hi, Maitri this side from Limelight Diamonds. So we are India's leading lab-grown diamond brand, and my question is to Tamannaah ma'am. So nowadays, the youth is all about sustainability and they're like conscious buyers right now. So what is your take on when we kind of include sustainability in diamond jewelry?
Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but my father's a jeweler, and because that's a part of also my family business. For me, a stone is never really about the caratage or how what does it what is the whole when you like scientifically break it down. But for me, when I look at a stone as a jeweler, it has to speak to me. If I look at a stone and I don't go wow, as a girl, it should make my heart skip a beat. And that's when I'm ready to pay a price for it, and I'm ready to own it and also make a memory out of it. Because according to me, jewelry, for me, apart from the reasons why you buy it, for me, it's also something that's it has a heirloom kind of essence in my life. So whenever I invest in jewelry or whenever I buy, for me, it's always something that feels like if I own this piece, I should be able to pass this on. So yeah, I appreciate the fact of sustainability in this, but for me, I've always been more of a dreamer, more of a lover, more of that kind. There's a romantic, approach that I have towards jewelry. So it's actually rather very, very close to my heart, and I'm very, very intrigued by the process of how you create, jewelry pieces. So in fact, I'm in the process of doing so much, which I enjoy wearing. So I constantly kind of put pieces together that I like to wear. Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
we
so
have
much.
another
Thank you.
question. Over there, please.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Tamannaah. Hi, Avinash. Tamannaah, my question is for you. You have started your career in very early age. So my question is, what rule of the life which you follow always? What's the rule of your life which you follow? And what one suggestion you will give to the young generation?
I just feel काम चोरी मत करो. That's one thing that I just feel like that was my mantra, and it's still my mantra. Now also, ये चल जाएगा, ठीक है ना, जाने दो ना. That for me is death. Like I will not leave it. If I'm in physical pain, or even if because I feel like I'm not doing it for just external validation, but it's also my own satisfaction. And in any pursuit, it could be creative or just even if you want to make money. I mean, if that's what your passion is, whatever that is to you, I still feel like you need to go all the way. And only for this generation, I feel like I know the gratification in every way has become so instant that you want that result instantly. But, are you ready for that? If you're, the question is, most of us aren't ready for amazing things to happen to us, because if they do, that would probably destroy us completely. So first we need to level up, you know, and once you level up, those amazing things start happening to you. So wait for it a bit.
Thank you, Tamannaah.
So
I have
well
a
said, yeah.
request.
Kaam chori mat karo. Well said. What timing. Fantastic.
We now request our partners at Smash to come on stage and present bouquets to our stars as a token of appreciation.